Hello. Welcome back. Another week. Funding CEO, Better Marvin, aka Marvin Wilson, aka your guy. However it feels good to you today. But welcome back. This is Funding Credit Podcast. Shows up every Thursday, 7 p.m. We're doing a live one today, guys. Welcome back to all my followers, supporters that have sort of been with me since the beginning of this journey, even before the podcast. It sort of gives me a good feeling of, I started this in my kitchen, guys, about 2 years ago, and had like 3 people on a conference call. And next thing you know, it grew. And, I said, okay, let me take it up another notch, which of course I've seen a lot of people take this model and approach. And I said, well, let me work a little bit smarter and be flexible, and took this thing up and got some good people around me and people that I already knew that I could depend on, and it worked out. And so, I'm here, and I want to give you the best credible information I can from either be a business owner or a future business owner or someone that's seeking to be fundable in their life some way, knowing how to use other people or financial institutions' money and be creative in their space. And the only way sometimes you can really be creative in your space is when you don't have to worry about day-to-day things of how you're going to pay your bills and things like that. You got cushion, right? So you're going to be fundable, right? So those type of things you can sort of work on your business. You don't want to have to work in your business, okay? There's 2 different lifestyles with that. Believe me, I know all about it, okay? So my whole journey was I worked with 2 different millionaires. Both of them was Afro-American, very genuine, very smart, very witty men, and they were very ahead of their times. But what happened was they were undercapitalized. Technology caught up with them and created an $800 million gorilla. I'm just paraphrasing, that they couldn't get around. So me being via under that umbrella, it sent me back to my mom's house twice. I said, okay, what we gonna do? All right, so I think I need to learn this myself, So being undercapitalized, guys, that's sort of the echo of why I had to go and figure things out on my own. But me being a hard worker, rolling up my sleeves, shaking the bushes, and I leveraged my relationships pretty well. So they didn't take me as long, but it wasn't easy at all, guys. And so, spent a lot of money traveling, put myself out there, talking to people that I thought would never talk to me, calling people back, 2 or 3 weeks at a time, sometimes literally like 3 weeks every day until I got to that person. And that's just how it is, guys. I mean, when you want something, you go after it. So I come with you with sweat and tears, giving you the learning curves of some things that I didn't have. You don't have to go through that I did. And I try to hurdle you into understanding that you deserve it. You just have to put things in right perspective. So with Funding Credit, it's a one-stop shop. We're solving 4 big problems in a lot of people's lives, guys. Definitely when you get incorporated, you need to know the status. 2, you need to have a NAC code. 3, you need to understand you need to be credible as a person, as an individual first. 4, you also need to understand business credit, and you definitely need a proportion around that, I felt, as funding. Most people out here, they call themselves the credit gurus, which of course, a lot of people in that space, and I definitely, I salute everybody that's out there that's doing their thing and can clean your credit up in 30 days and, all this stuff that you hear, like, hey man, I can, it's like that's a race, but people don't understand the journey. You know what I'm saying? I've got my credit clean a lot of times, and okay. But there's so many other variables, guys. You go to a bank anywhere with a 700 credit score and get denied all day. All right. If you don't know how to pack it in and mold that credit and make you look credible from a loan perspective instead of 1 or 2 years, and knowing how an underwriting process and how the algorithms and things like that sort of go into what type of sculpture or what business model you in and how they look at this factor and this one, they might look different. I put all that in a business model, guys, so I could solve a problem. So with that being said, that's Funding Credit One-Stop Shop. This podcast is also brought to you by way of Wisdom Foundation, Paradigm Financial. Those are subsidiary companies that works hand in hand with me. A nonprofit, of course, is Wisdom Foundation. Definitely pushing the pen with working with the youth. Got the Funding Academy that's going to be showing up. Beautiful logo, by the way. And got a lot of things going on with that, showing our youth and utilizing that universal way, being able to use it definitely for our youth, future entrepreneurs, re-entry programs with brothers that definitely need to know the basics of getting out here and having a second chance at entrepreneurship and life, and then use it for other means as well. Definitely looking forward to a lot of speaking engagement coming up next month in the next 30 days. I'll be going out west speaking with Matthew Knowles, having a one-on-one sit down with him and having a really good detailed conversation on what the future looks like when it comes to Black businesses, entrepreneurs, and in our youth. So that's the direction that was picked up, by him and his organization. And then, I just, via me working and things like that, they seen it, they sought me out. And, so I welcome that opportunity to be working with Mr. Knowles out in San Diego. And that will be coming up in the next 30 days. I'll be lining some information up with that as well. We're definitely in the malls, guys. In the malls, of course, Concord, and be looking at some other areas here soon. But that's the pulse of where we're trying to definitely advocate the financial literacy and get in front of people and let them educate them while they are making some type of consumer decisions in that time. So we're really challenging a lot of areas that we feel that's untapped, and challenging a lot of areas I feel that this has been looked over for the longest, and somebody has to do that. So I've wanted to step up to the plate to do my part, and I look forward to working with anybody else who's in that space that can, push the pen towards, helping people to be more confident about financial literacy and empowering them that they can do it if they really get the information. So today, have a wonderful guest, brother of mine. He's definitely acclimated in the more of a business that a lot of people heard of, a lot might not be familiar with, and that's a nonprofit space. Definitely an expert in fundraising, coming up with so many creative ideas of how to, I think to take your nonprofit to make it more scalable. Let you look at it from a very realistic standpoint. He's given me great feedback and direction on some things that I can do with mine. He's definitely a good listener. I think that's the gift, and has a lot of patience and stuff. But it's just remarkable to have people in that space that can use their skill sets and show you how the big picture looks. And you never know you have it until somebody says, So definitely wanted to have him come on and educate you guys on what a nonprofit really looks like, what does it take, right? And then the type of people that you got to have around you to make it work, and a lot of times that's the gift and the curse when it comes to being successful in certain models. So no further ado, let Mr. Butler, that'd be Joseph Butler. Come on and definitely give us a how you doing, brother? Good, man. But a jacket, brother. All right, man. Yeah, man. So tell me a little bit, man. How long you been in the nonprofit space or understanding? Well, I'll take it back. Let me take this back. What got you into that period? Was it something that just came to you, or?
Yeah, so number one, thank you, man. Gratitude for always being, connected to like-minded individuals who resonate and just see legacy as important when people think about nonprofit. I want you to always think about legacy, because I think you devalue it when you think about the nonprofit. Your profit is immediate. You know what I'm saying? So that's an immediate, I made profit.
Right.
Legacy is extended. And so you're denying yourself of profit to put it into legacy. So when you think about nonprofit, I want you to think that way. Yeah. It's the self-denial, which is hard for us to do.
That's what it's
hard for us to take ourselves away because we want it all and say, you know what, I'm gonna put it into generations, so generations will benefit from what I'm doing. So that's the space that I play in, and I've done that, before I got here. Now that I'm here, and I will continue to do it. But so my dad was a minister, so I grew up in the church, and so that seeded that thing, and he was an entrepreneur as well. So that just helped me develop the skill set. I went to college for accounting, so I graduated with a degree in accounting. So I like numbers, I know my numbers, and then from there I joined a service organization called AmeriCorps. It's like a domesticated Peace Corps. So I was serving in the community, and I was running the inner city youth program, and working with students. And for about 10 years I did that. Took my kids to work with me, and then from there I went into raising money. So I've been in the nonprofit industry, entrepreneur, for probably about 20 years now.
Oh wow,
20 years.
You definitely have the DNA, man. I mean, working with the kids, already an advocate, bringing his kids, working programs. I mean, accounting. Definitely, from your upbringing, that says for itself. But yeah, man, I mean, definitely, hand selected for this journey. I say that.
Right. We go back to yesterday. We said if we know anything, we chose to be here.
Right.
Time. So
wow, I definitely believe that, brother.
And it complements what you're doing, from from where you are with funding around what we're doing, because your business model is about legacy as well. You talk about some short-term thing. People want to clean their credit so they can get immediate things.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? We clean their credit, get the house, get the car. Let me get some here, let me get it. Because I got to get it. So, but your suite is about set yourself up, with, of course, get you, long term. Think about after you get everything you got, now what?
That's true.
And so we think the same, we just come at it at different levels.
I like that, man. So I've heard definitely, working with banks and things, Joseph, sort of having that community sector that the banks have. A lot of people don't know about that. I call it community relations in a way, because that's sort of, how you can be relatable in the community of, how that really looks. Having that status, and via me, I think I told you, I've had Wisdom Foundation for I think maybe about 6 or 7 years, and I've really started trying to get those legs up under it and get the right direction, if you will. So now I believe definitely right now this is definitely a good time with the academy and with the mentorship and things like that.
Chris.
Absolutely. Yeah, Boys and Men, Chris, definitely. He's a good model to even look at. Because a lot of people that wants to go out and have something to say. What does this look like? Definitely check out. Boys and Men. The logo's there, guys. Check him out. Give him support. And you got kids, especially young brothers out there, just trying to find their way. Single mothers. I mean, that's a great. I've actually was able to, come to via preview one event a couple of weeks ago and just study, and I was really impressed. And I'm really happy to be able to, basically, Joseph connecting me with Chris and the Boys to Men. It's wonderful. It's good. It's a kickoff. It's my first opportunity to really give win and duplicate myself mindset into kids and really put that energy into them and open up their mind to what their capabilities, what they can do. And I'm not talking about so much in the future. I'm talking about things I'm going to tell them they can do it right now. Right? Those entrepreneurs out there, guys, 7, 8, 9 years old. So we got to start putting that in the right now, right here, right now, and start educating ourselves as adults so we can be aligned to be a level of influence for them, because it doesn't take a lot to push kids off to the side or get them defocused. So our level of communication and our lineage and our day-to-day lives and interests plays a lot bigger role than what I think people really, think, and again, on my quick tip, I was talking about, relationships and being selfish. And I think that I didn't want it to come off, in a negative, way. But what I'm saying, we can't just think about what we're doing. We got to think about what we're putting in front of our kids. Because via me, I was definitely had an impact. I was impacted as a kid on what I saw in my home, and I'm quite sure that works for almost every kid in America. Not that where your kid is going, you have to be that doctor or you have to be this big entrepreneur, but sort of filter those seeds and line their lives up that they can be in a sort of a camaraderie, if you will, and to put them around that. So with Boys to Men and what I'm seeking to do here soon with Joseph, those are the type of templates and platforms that we're here, that if you don't have that in the home, they can get some positive direction, for our young brothers and sisters, your kids or niece or whoever that might need some direction and just need to be impacted with a positive influence. So I just wanted to definitely say that, there are organizations that's out there that is doing the work. And I definitely want to make sure that, people that needs consultant direction, that you can get Joseph's information, because like I say, he's been a blessing to mine and a lot more other ones out there. And so with the model of today's society, Joseph, I wanted to just say for me, profit, bottom line, let's make this much money, sales team, let's go. It takes that's a whole lot, to keep going on an everyday basis. And good people is hard to find sometimes, especially when it comes to being, understanding what your vision is, if you will.
What's that?
How does that look from a founder, if you will? I think that's the right word, the founder of a nonprofit, to build the right board.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement. Building board, LBs, billionaire. I know the boards are the foundation of the nonprofit. It's we call it the fiduciary responsibility, meaning the funding and everything falls on the board. It falls on that of those members who decided to say, I'm gonna sign up to help you either raise money or help ensure that the money that you have, that you're investing it into the proper channel. So, and then part two of that, so it's the money part of it, profit, as you said. Then the part two of it is the actual connections. Where are they connected at? Who are they connected to? So, and we know life is about connections. So,
very much so.
What you know, it's about
who you know.
Everybody knows that.
Interesting you said that. A big shout out to Gwen Curry. She sort of gave me my first picture of what even a nonprofit would was. She's very influential in this area. And she wrote, I don't know, a couple $100 million worth in grants, and she was they called her the AIDS lady. She was an advocate for the city, and she really was down there painting and really got a lot of monies in this center when that epidemic of the AIDS thing. And so she would tell me how she would fall asleep in her, at that time she was fundable. And she would just fall asleep in the back of the car, her driver, and she would just, have to jump up and, go to Raleigh, go back here. She was Raleigh to downtown, and it was just ongoing, but she had to, I just never seen that much passion towards, just having that driving force in the community of doing that. And, had, I think it was like 400 people in her after school care, and radio show. It was a good model for me to see. Never seen via a woman handle community and relationships that way. And it was really interesting. And had a very similar beliefs, not simple, really a light belief system in that area as well. So big shouts out to her with that. She gave me an opportunity to set my first entrepreneur experience inside of that model and help fundraising for nonprofits. So it was really cool. But with that being said, guys, I think that what I want to definitely make sure that people understand, definitely, what Joseph was saying, which you can get his information. We wouldn't have time to drill all the way down into that, but if you wanted to reach out to him, of course, he has an email and things like that to reach out to him. But definitely, you could sort of, I guess, let them know what you do for nonprofits or people that would maybe need an assistance in that area. Whatever.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So again, going back for nonprofits, delayed gratification. So build legacy is what I tend to think. So we call it philanthropy. So a philanthropist would be the title that, professional title that you would give me. I'm a philanthropist. Build legacy. My direction is youth development. That's been it. It's around youth development. So my goal is to sit down with nonprofits and those who decide to build legacy. I'm really stepping into trust now. For those who decide to build legacy and look at, the quantum, or 5 areas of engagement. Again, we go back to the tribes. So it's corporate, individuals, grants and foundation, earned revenue, and I would say the last for me, you should have 5. You can pick your 5. It can be events. Mine can be virtual, but mine is digital currency. So those are the 5 areas when you sit with me as a philanthropist, that I want to sit down and I'm ensure that you have some structure, strategy, people, process, policy, and procedures in those areas, so you can be fundable, sustainable, and you can grow. I don't want to break it down like that, but I want to explain that people really understand that it is very important that you have a foundation when you get putting your passion out there, because you're putting your heart out there.
Absolutely.
And you want to make sure you protect your heart. And the way you can do that is put that 5-fold ministry around it, love, the 5 elements that I'm talking about. That'll help you protect your heart.
That's good. That's good stuff, man. Yeah. So again, guys, I know for me, I definitely love to be able to get inside of a grant, and something that mirrors to I can just take it and grow it.
You will,
and be able to put that out there and go through a good start and really feeling comfortable about how things are showing up. For the products and things, I feel like the guys to get in an easier role, and I'll say from a profit side, a lot of people go out, guys, and they think that running their business is scalable because they already a lot of companies or businesses, if you will, of course with the digital, it looks to you that, well, I do this all the time. I do hair. I do, I already have the heat, certain products that you need, but guys, you really get into business. You want to get into business to duplicate yourself. You want to get into business that you don't have to work in the business. You understand? If you like to work, then that's work. But if you really want to run a business is about employing people. It's about hiring people. You understand? That's why right now the government is throwing out so many monies and complimenting people that's out there that's put themselves out on the limb to give people jobs and getting, compensated for that. You know what I mean? Because it helps the economy run. All the 1%ers can't come up with everything to run the, we have to think of this thing as on a higher level. So if you're not, implementing a business and understanding what that looks like on whatever level you are, and be capitalized to do it, and be capitalized that you can run it and have salaries, pay people, equipment, all those checkoff lists that you see when you go to banks and various places and funding institutions, and they ask you, well, what do you need this money for? Well, that's a common question because you're in business, even as individuals in person and as a personal situation, personal funding. I dealt with that sometimes to get people off to the right start and educate them how they need to look on the personal side. Well, you do certain things for us, travel, and certain things that you don't want to use your money or your 401 or your personal savings to, to live the way you need to live, or put out personal fires, or do certain things with your life or with your kids. So that's credibility. Credibility means good credit. It means having, a good relationships with either via banks or institutions or whatever the case you feel like you need to be banking at based on, what business model you have. And then, having, the type of temperament that, of course, not to be a selfish temperament, to look at what your kids and see how can you make their lives easier, guys. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because right now we can't push Johnny to play football and think that that's going to be be all. You know what I mean? You see how they took that out just like that. Just of something that happens. Of course, we just watched the Super Bowl, but everybody's not going to make it to the Super Bowl. A lot of people didn't even get to play football this year. So just be mindful of the people that's hiring the football players. Just be mindful of the people that built them stadiums. Just be mindful of, what it takes to really run an entertainment business. Be mindful of someone that maybe could be, an agent or a financial counselor for these players. So there's a lot of different areas in whatever field, but we just always can't be the physical body that's making everybody jump up. Oh yeah, he dunked or touchdown. So we got to really look at it as a whole. But when you get outside of that, you're 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have to think about it as a business. There's just no ifs and buts about it, guys. And so. I don't know, how many Amazons are going to be developing in the next 10, 15 years. I don't know what work looks like from a 9 to 5 up in a big building and, having the big board meetings and, but I do know that it is getting thinner and thinner by the day. And I don't preach or teach fear, but I do teach awareness. So, you can look at it from that point and think about fintech, think about a lot of things that's mirroring and that's getting inside of these companies that they can do everything on their own, right? I've even heard people throw out, oh, wow, Facebook, it is a government now. They have their own laws and, well, when you have, over a couple 100,000 people working for you, it pretty much is a government, But so, you have to be mindful of what we're talking about, guys, when we say, are you fundable? Get out of your comfort zone, do more, get around people that's talking about how you can take your things to the next level, making sure you have some good accounting, CPA people, an attorney, nonprofit, experts and people like that if you want to expand legacy. Because, guys, it's just like that. You can have it and you can lose it. And passion and persistence is good, but you got to have smart people around you. Everybody that I felt has been successful, you got to have smart people around you. And so, that's what I say with the new mindset to get to where you need to be. No matter if it's music, no matter whatever it is, just make sure that you have a business model going into that. There's a lot of loopholes when you're in business that you can get out of that you couldn't get out of. You couldn't get out of if you was a person. As an individual, it's pretty much It is what it is. But a business, yeah, it's a whole lot of different things that you can do with a business, whole lot. Um, so with funding credit, we're definitely working to show that it's always, more of a legacy built temperament, for the business model. I just want to show that, the community relationship piece, especially in this episode with my brother Joseph, because he opened me up of working hard of, brother, you're there now. I'm like, I've arrived, well, not I've arrived, but, I'm grateful to sort of see, what hard work does and be able to share that with the community and help people. There's not a better feeling in the world, guys. I mean, I know there's the landscapers out there, and there's attorneys and all that other kind of stuff, but we need to have more of you guys that went and got this education to come back to these kids. You see what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to come and right before they're about to get locked up, and you're like, well, I'm going to keep you out of jail. No, teach them what it takes. Get in programs and get in their face, guys. You know what I'm saying? Get connected. Let's go to these schools, guys. You can't depend on the schools and the teachers to raise our kids. And I think that's what's starting to happen. We get so molded into seeing business and running business and trying to make it on the Forbes list or trying to have the biggest house or whatever. But we got to understand, guys, that we're not leaving the footprints and for this youth. We're really looking at it from the wrong perspective. And so, Joseph, from a nonprofit, purpose-driven, you've been around boards that's been, you've worked with them all, United Way, all different types of things. What have you seen thus far that you've probably, and you don't have to say which one, but what have you seen the success? Where does it come from? People that know how to raise money, get money. Where does that philanthropic piece come from? Is it a certain skill set that they have, or is does it come from people filling them?
I think it's a combination of both. It's the story. People always have to connect emotionally to anything that they're doing. Mm-hmm. So they have to feel, whoever or whatever is giving them, the purpose, the mission or the vision or whatever they have that the donor is going to be invested in. They got to feel like, oh man, I feel it. Yes. The next part of it's got to make good business sense, because as a business investor, you're always looking at return. So your return is not so much numbers when it comes to how much dollars you get in, it's how many lives are being affected and touched. How are the lives being affected and touched. And so my motto is that's the best model you can do to affect and touch lives is kids. They are the model. That's what everybody we talk about, even what's going on in the news, is always about the kids. What's going on, drama or what's positive going on, it's about the kids. And a lot of times nonprofits don't understand that, say they don't understand, but maybe they don't value the well connectivity that they have with students and how they can harness those energies really to produce really success for the nonprofit and the people of the nonprofit. They program kids versus let the kids do the program. It's a whole difference.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. They program kids versus let kids do program.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, man, being able to be in position to go out and work with the kids is amazing. The media, and I think those are the type of stories we need more of. There's a lot of heroes out here that's unseen, unheard of, and we're trying to make sure that they have some type of help out there. I've helped a lot of brothers that I knew grow up with, made some wrong decisions and things like that, and they called me while they were on the inside, and I started giving them the breadcrumbs of, okay, man, this is what it's going to look once you get out there. And, so those are the pilots, also individual pilot projects I've worked with. And I felt good, man, that those guys even thought about me on the inside to call me and say, man, listen, man, I don't want to screw up this time. And I just knew something there in my heart. Then I said, okay, I have to create something that's going to be, they can be tapped into. They can take people from not even knowing how to open up a bank account up to making themselves a fundable business owner, and having the right people that can sustain fundability in that business model. And so with that, you talk to a guy, I didn't, there's no accounting major over here. None of that. It's just, I'm just knowing how to look at something and simplify it to a point that it solves a problem. I know how to be relatable to people that I'm not talking over their head, and I can show them, you do this, you do this, you do this, you're going to get this. You do this, you do it over there, and you try to come back and do it again, and you go out there, you're going to get it, but it's going to take you 10 or 20 years longer to get it. So if you come into my program, you feel that you can go to 1 to 3 and then 3 to 5, it's never going to work because you've got to have things aligned. And then when you get with people that have, of course, just even on the nonprofit side, you have to, people that have money to give away or institutions that wants to give you money, they got to feel it, they got to be able to see it. And, and so those are things that has to be in place, guys. So we have to put ourselves in place for our business and everything else to be in place. And so with that being said, we're assisting people with, of course, PPP and the EIDLs from government aspect. We've sort of crossed over and been working with a lot of different Hispanic, brothers and sisters out there. Really, that's great. That's just like a dream come true for me to be able to work with people that doesn't even speak English and can come in and feel welcome. And I have people that can translate and talk to them in my business model that they can actually, feel comfortable to open up their lives to me, and then they're getting funded. That's just like a dream come true. So those things are happening on the inside, and of course, the speaking and a lot of things. I'm definitely opening up myself for that here soon. I have a book coming out called Passion for Freedom. That should be coming out here real soon. It's already about to, be coming out. Just looking at a few pieces, so those are things that's coming out for the Funded CEO. I look forward to working with you guys out there, and I want to make sure that you guys get Joseph's information, because I think that anybody that's looking at really affecting the community, you really need to reach out to the brother. He's got a skill set that's relevant now. So if there's any information, yeah, absolutely, brother. Is there any information that you want to, either share or contact or email or I don't know?
Yeah, I think, I would say that probably the best place to get at me in this current time is to DM me on the gram. I think we like to do
okay, DM. yeah.
Get the gram, Positive Joseph on the IG.
There you go, Positive Joseph. That's it.
I laugh at that because that's currency. That's where everybody's doing a lot of traffic, Clubhouse, TikTok. Those are places of currency. And again, if you're a nonprofit and you're not thinking in that space, I don't know.
Wow.
How long are you gonna be around?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Just
TikTok and Clubhouse.
How you not, programming or having youth programs in those spaces. That's what I'm saying. We're so caught up into, I don't know where we are, and the students are on. I'm looking at TikTok, scrolling up, and they're creating their own awareness in universities on TikTok.
Yeah,
and there's not a source of interest behind them to make sure they have the right, support and the right direction and guidance to make sure it's sustainable. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a space that. So IG me, Positive Joseph, and I am on TikTok as well.
Okay.
JB Cheers.
Okay. That's what's up.
Cheers.
That's what's up.
And I'm on Clubhouse as well.
Okay. Okay.
JV Cheers as well. So those are probably the best places to get at me because I'm staying current.
Yeah, you gotta stay current, man. Current and currency. You know, in that flow, man. Guys, you gotta stay ahead of the learning curve, and make sure that you're thinking in the future and putting yourself out there of the way it looks now. It could be a good time. It could be a time things needs to change. Whatever that is, guys, just start moving in that direction. And whether you come to me, or go somewhere else, just start, living wherever that is. Be it now. Start. You don't have to have the money to start acting like a business owner. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to have. The nonprofit. You just start. Calling, asking questions, doing your own research. YouTube. There's all type of different, areas that's out there, or platforms that you can start informing yourself on. How do I see myself in the next 2 years? Okay, you see. So those are a lot of different things that you need to, take in consideration when you're definitely working a sustainable business, or you want to open up a nonprofit. And make sure that those two are really a reflection of what you're standing for and what you want to leave here for being your kids and your family. Yeah. I mean, I think that's I think men, and I'll say even women too, back in the day, they really took pride in that. They really took pride in it. They took time with their children, even though they didn't have nonprofit. They really took time with their children, and they really, really approached their children on, you need to know these specific things. And I definitely believe in letting kids be who they feel that they want to be, but you still got to give them some type of parental conduct, morals. How you do it or what you're doing, but just do it with a level of integrity, showing people how to respect people, paying homage when it's due. Yeah. And having the type of a level of reciprocity in understanding how it works. Because sometimes you're going to have to go out here and get under people, and the money's not going to be there at first. But a lot of people, successors and people that I know I work with a lot of people. I work with 4 people in my life for free. And it took me to places I never thought that I would be at, and I think that's what has a lot of success for me now. Because I know that they don't come like that, a lot of people just, hey man, I want it right now. This is where you hadn't even showed me what you can do. So why should I be giving you all this just because you put this on paper? You know how easy it is to put a resume out. You could have been the laziest person and give me a resume and no. For me, I need to feel it, see it. I need to know you as a person. You know what I'm saying? I really need to see that, because people say anything, and then because that just doesn't work for people that's out here at the top of the food chain. Or when I reached out to my people myself, I think they said with Matthew and those different people that I have, I've gotten their attention, but not knowing that they done looked at my my business, my nonprofit. They looked at every aspect of me, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'd like to work with this guy. Tell him if he's interested, want to come out here. I'd like to have him one-on-one with him. So people are watching, guys, and if you're ready to go to that level, are you set up that way? That's why I ask people, are you fundable? It's a really simple question, guys. Are you fundable? Is your credit right? Is your business right? Do you have your documents online? Do you even have a business bank account? And if you have a business bank account, how are you interacting in there? Are you writing yourself checks? Are you paying yourself? Are you paying your 1099? Do you have bookkeeping? You have to understand what they're looking for when they say, are you running a business and are you fundable, guys? Because there's a lot of things that people don't take in consideration. So we got it all here. Funding-credit.com. We're on IG, Facebook, all that other good stuff. LinkedIn. Reach out. A lot of people sometimes go to my personal page, reach out and stuff like that. A lot of people that definitely know me. But we're working, getting a lot of things getting automated here. Working with a great team. It's going to, be able to help a lot more people with my business model. and customer relations and community relations. I'm building it out, guys. You know what I'm saying? And I'm staying fundable, and I keep getting people funding. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're helping people, guys, you're putting yourself in alignment with what you're doing for other people. It's got to come back to you, right? So always do more than what's asked. Always. I'm not ready. Well, you're not cheating that person. You're cheating yourself, because it's the universe is what what you're working with, guys. And how you work for people and your accountability to that person is your accountability to the world, and how the world reflects back to giving you what you deserve back. Because if you're just doing enough, then that's what you're gonna get, enough, right? So that's just some basic principles, guys. That's coming from a metamorph there, but that you gotta have that. You gotta understand that, and I think that's a lot of people just think they gotta hustle and a drive, but that it takes more than that, guys. It really does. People see straight through spinoffs, or people to just hear, hey, trying to get into them some money and all that. People want relationships in these days, guys. So this is why I was more favorable of putting this topic out here, because the way I feel way more, I would say, value when someone from nowhere comes and says, Marvin, what you're putting up, man, this information, man, man, I really appreciate it, man, because they were like, Marvin, when you gonna, man, you giving up all this information, it's for free. I've been giving up free information for a whole year, Joseph. I ain't charged nobody nothing, and I've been giving tips. I've been teaching for 30, 40 minutes every day. Every week. You can go to my YouTube page and probably somebody can go to my YouTube page right now and probably build a business and get funded. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the more I give, yeah, guys, so I see a lot of favorable things. And of course, I am going to be putting some courses together and putting value on it. I'm going to be bringing some different things to the table, my book. So I just want you guys to understand, guys, before I start asking people for something, I want to make sure that the work is there. They see I done the work, and not to try to outdo anybody, but I just didn't want to be a regular credit company. I didn't want to be a mom and pop's credit company. I did not want to talk about credit and couldn't talk about funding. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So when you know the outcome and what you really want to get done, you got to do it yourself. Nobody didn't know in my mind, oh, Marvin, you want to be funding, you want to have an underwriter proprietary, like you want to do, nobody, and you guys just got to think, 5 years ago, I was running one of the biggest minority ticketing companies in the country. And I think people that know me know that. So this comes with just being persistent, guys, and understanding, if you really want to solve a problem within yourself, you could probably go and get out there and solve other people's problems as well. True. Yeah. And having that philanthropic menu or mindset, it takes a level of, you got to have prosperity mindset. Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, the different approach to the nonprofit space, not coming in from a lacking standpoint, need-based, or you have to, versus you coming in abundantly thinking that you have enough, and you're trying to distribute it all to the people who need it. And when you bring on, you approach it that way, people tend to track to that.
Yeah, right.
And you tend to get things that you want, get things done a little bit better. That's why athletes have such they do well in nonprofit, because they come in off the field and they already have that confidence.
Yeah,
and they don't have necessarily a lot of money, don't have nothing different than what you and I have, but they just got that confidence coming off the field or the track or whatever.
Right.
Come into that, and they tend to track, people who really can get behind that. Definitely, TV helps, but we all can be famous, make videos, make the kids famous. That's how you get famous. Make kids famous, right?
Right.
Think of that.
There you go.
Like, you want to get famous?
Yeah.
Make kids famous.
Yeah.
You'll be famous all day.
We're doing this right now, guys. Anybody can go, you have the means. If you want to make it happen, you can make it happen, guys. People out there are having very great lifestyle right now in their homes and doing what they need to do. So I ain't knocking nobody's business model. I do knock hustles because I know that that's just a temporary rush card. It's a Band-Aid over a bullet wound in this country. And it's not set up for us to hustle. It's set up for us to run a business. And if you don't know how, find out how. Search it. Call me. Call someone, or use your resources. So I'm gonna put it out there, guys. 980-892-1823. Funding-credit.com. We're working with people digitally every day. Calling. Hopefully, by the end of next month, I'm going to be making another trip down to Texas in February. We should have an office down in Texas with a whole different conglomerate of people in the valley, working with them, and definitely having some bridges and some relationships that's building in Atlanta as well. So we just, we're looking, just because this information is valuable everywhere, guys. And when you got passion, people feel it. People feel passion, and then it goes a long way. They'll be sitting at the table with their wives, and they'll be talking about it. He moved me. He moved me. And so, that's what I get when I talk to people. I can feel it. So that's, guys, that's what it takes to go out here and, and really, take your life over. Be accountable. Be the guy that's going to be the guy, and you never know who's watching you. I talk to younger brothers that's around me all the time. Big shout out to Louis Dominguez. I probably tore his name up, but Quasar Customs, Quasar Creative, he got a few that's doing it. But just people around me. I said, man, people watching you too. So I'm accountable, you accountable. So we got to keep each other. People watching. Good, but what really makes you good is when you become a leader. And that's when you sometimes you can't stay out all night. You can't stay out all night. You got to go home. You got to be the first one on the phone. You might have to talk to one person when it's supposed to be 20 people, and still have pride and know that. That one person came and showed up, so you're going to give them the time that they deserve. Been in that, man. A lot of no's, a few yeses, and going through a whole lot of humble experiences. So, it takes, you got to have that right temperament, and they call it thick skin to be consistent in this space or any space, guys. So, take it from me, Funding CEO. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed some of this information. I think it was more of a lot of empowering information as well. But definitely, guys, we're giving you the resources out here to go out and do what you need to do, build a legacy that you and your kids can benefit for. Make sure that a lot of stuff in your life is insured. A lot of the people out here that's looking at making sure you protect what you work for, trust. And a lot of those things as well, and making sure that those things are really protected. Insurance and trust, guys, definitely look into that. There's a lot of people out there that's definitely helping you and knows a lot about those areas. And that's what it's really all about. So, is there any last words, Joseph, that you want to put out to either our future entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs or nonprofit community?
I would just say, of course, always gratitude, for what you're doing, for platform, for support systems, for structure, for vision, for passion, for flow. There's a lot going on that behind the scenes and in front of the camera that sometimes people miss. Because we're just so tuned in to just staring at things, not really picking things apart. So taking time for people to really break down this information and really get all that they can get out of it from two people sitting in here who really love you and care about you, and from coming from two different perspectives, really set you up for generations, like several generations. You know what I'm saying? That's where we are on so many different levels. So it's up to you what you do with information, and how you connect with us. But if I was you, I would connect with this energy going on up in here, or figure out a way that you can play these spaces because, you know, we're doing really good right
now.
Man,
we're doing pretty good, man. You know, he got a bio, you know, 92 million, and, you can't walk through his house in 2 minutes, you know. And you definitely can't walk in mine either in 2 minutes. But we work hard, man. We work hard. There's no ego here, man. But the thing is, you want to be a king, you want to be a good father, a good man, a good leader. Go out there and think big, man. Put it all out there. I mean, why not, right? And enjoy the fruits of your labor. And who doesn't want to be well traveled, or who doesn't want to be able to appreciate other cultures and get into things that they love and be able to help people. I always got to give it up to Reverend Ike. He's like, hey man, the best thing you can do for a poor person is not be one. Because you got to live by example. So that's the space that me and my brother Joseph, we hold ourselves accountable for. Not that we're in all be all, got all the money and all that, but we're just trying to do our part in our Pacific area the best way we know how, and just letting you know that we're not quitters. Don't be trying to put me wherever, but one thing that people know me, and anybody that's on here know that Marvin Wilson is not a quitter, and I never will. Okay, and so with that, however that looks, I know I can say that, and and because I know I live it. I know what I've had to go through and what I've had to be persistent in so many spaces that a lot of people would have given up. So I have to give myself kudos sometimes, or sometimes I sort of be my worst critic. But at the end of the day, guys, you stand fast in what you want to do and what you love, and it'll show up. People, places, and things will show up if you just have faith, stay focused. So Joseph, man, we're going to get some funding. Last year we funded over $3 million in funding. And this year we'll be doing more than that, and get some grants and get all kinds of stuff. I'm looking at it all, guys.
I would see this too. Let me end with this too. If you're looking to understand and get a little bit more in the digital resources, digital currency space, when it comes to fund development or philanthropy, get at me or DM me again. Positive Joseph is my IG. I'm on Clubhouse as JB Cheers, and I'm on Snapchat. Oh, not Snapchat. I'm sorry, TikTok. 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 JB Cheers.
Hey man, they be having fun on TikTok, bro.
Education, man.
Yeah, they be
it's like educational central. It's like TikTok University.
Hey man, it's all kind of platforms to get exposure out here, guys. Don't be scared to be yourself and be authentic. Okay, have fun, play as a child. Be creative. Quit listening to naysayers. Listen to yourself. But you got to make sure that you're talking to yourself in the right way, because you could be listening to yourself, but you might be giving yourself the wrong information, or you might give yourself the wrong affirmative prayer. Be positive, stay focused, and be around the right temperament of people. And my number 5 rule, guys, the closest 5 people that you speak with or you're around on an everyday basis. And I don't be around these 5 people every day, but for the most part, 5 of the people that you're communicating with on an everyday basis is usually on a financial level, because it's a temperament, it's a frequency. That's where you'll be next year. So always put yourself around, groundbreakers, paradigm breakers, people that's, not living in fear, because guys, you can't outdo what you're putting out, and you can't outdo what you're around. It is what it is, So, always be open at the top to learn and be teachable is what I would say. So guys, I'm just gonna close it out. It's the Funding CEO. Definitely hit us up. We're doing a lot of things, staying busy, and still, getting these shows out to you guys. So definitely support Funding Credit. Go to the YouTube page, subscribe, share it, guys. Share some of this information with some of your people. It ain't gonna hurt you guys. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for nothing. Just share the information. It might inspire somebody, guys. Do a good gesture every now and then. Don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Okay? So being kind and generous is a good thing. I feel when people look over, guys. That's another thing. Wallace D. Wallace. That's one of the books that I always tell people to watch. The Science of Getting Rich. Starts from inside out, guys. It's not about the green stuff. Keep saying that. So certain people that's winning, guys. Certain people that's giving that's winning. And certain people that's getting stuff. It's because the way they line things up. So be mindful. What you're seeking is seeking you. Be fundable. This is your Funding CEO. Be talking to you next week. Peace.